Welcome back to Where the Soul Echoes, where your soul's journey is honored in all its depth, its fragility, and its brilliance. If you have followed the path from the mirror, through separation, surrender, the sacred return, and now into conscious co-creation, then you know this truth. Love in its purest form is freedom, not bondage. It is presence without demand, giving without losing, holding without clinging. And this is the sacred doorway we enter today. Love without attachment. Attachment is a story most of us have carried for a lifetime. It whispers that love is conditional, that if we do not grasp, control, or mold it, we will lose it. It teaches us to tether our hearts to outcomes, to define our worth by the reflection we see in another. But love without attachment does not ask you to give up love. It asks you to give up fear, to release the chains of need, and to stand fully in your own sovereignty while being present for another soul. Take a deep breath now. Feel your spine lengthen. Notice the weight of the stories you have carried about love, about loss, about needing to hold tightly to be safe. Allow those weights to settle for a moment, knowing they have served you, but their time of teaching is coming to a close. Exhale. Here in this space, you are free to meet love differently. Love without attachment begins with presence. To be present with your twin flame, or with anyone, is to meet them fully, not as a projection of your desires, not as a mirror of your unmet needs, but as a whole, radiant soul in their own right. You see them, you honor them, you feel their energy, their joys, their pains, and you remain grounded in your own. There is a deep, quiet power in this, a recognition that you are complete within yourself, and yet you choose to share your wholeness. Notice how this shifts your experience. Where once longing might have felt like a chasm of emptiness, it now feels like a bridge, connecting hearts while allowing each to walk their own path. Where fear once whispered, "What if they leave?" a calmer voice now says, "Even if they do, I am enough." The liberation is subtle but transformative. Each breath reminds you, love does not require possession. Love requires presence and authenticity. Attachment often arises from fear of loss, fear of not being enough, fear that the connection is conditional. Love without attachment does not deny these fears. It meets them, it names them, and it chooses to move through them, anchored in the truth of the heart. Ask yourself quietly, where am I holding on out of fear? Where am I allowing love to flow freely without demand? Let these questions guide you, not as judgments, but as invitations to grow. This phase of your twin flame journey is both profoundly liberating and humbling. You may find moments where your old patterns surface, needing reassurance, seeking control, expecting responses. Let these moments rise. Witness them without shame. Then, like a gentle river, return to presence. Return to the knowing that love thrives in freedom, not in grasping. As you practice love without attachment, you also practice deep self-love. Boundaries become sacred. Self-respect becomes your compass. Your heart expands, not because you are giving more to someone else, but because you are giving fully to yourself, and in doing so, you naturally radiate love outward. You may notice your twin flame's energy shifting in response, not because of control, but because love in its truest form is magnetic. In this space, every interaction becomes an opportunity to witness love's highest expression. Conflicts, misunderstandings, or emotional triggers are no longer emergencies. They are mirrors of growth. You see, without attachment, even tension can become sacred. Even challenge can become a doorway into deeper trust, deeper understanding, deeper connection. The key is presence, curiosity, and surrendering the need for control. Imagine now the dance of your hearts, two souls, free, whole, and present, moving in harmony without chains, without expectation, holding space for one another while fully inhabiting their own sovereignty, experiencing joy, intimacy, passion, and shared purpose not as a requirement, but as a natural outcome of alignment. This is love without attachment. This is conscious union. You may ask, does this mean I let go of all desire for closeness? No, desire remains, but it is tempered with freedom. You desire connection because it feels good, not because you fear loss. You desire presence because it nourishes your soul, not because it defines your worth. This subtle shift transforms your entire relationship with love. It is less about the other and more about the embodiment of your own heart's truth. Practicing love without attachment requires patience. You may falter. You may revert to old fears. But each return to presence, each breath into sovereignty, strengthens your capacity to love without needing, to hold without clinging. And slowly, imperceptibly, the energy of your connection transforms. Tension dissolves. Clarity emerges. Unity deepens, not by force, not by expectation, but by alignment, authenticity, and soul-level freedom. Notice the subtle signs around you, moments of joy without reason, peace without explanation, intuitive knowing that does not seek validation, gentle synchronicities that remind you the universe flows in harmony with your heart's rhythm. This is the alchemical energy of love without attachment. You do not chase it. You live it, you do not demand it, you embody it. As this energy matures, you may experience the deepest form of connection possible. Your twin flame or sacred counterpart may draw near, not as a missing half, but as a co-traveler in wholeness. Every shared experience resonates differently. Laughter is lighter, conversation is freer, presence is richer. There's no desperation, no anxiety, only trust, alignment, and joy. And in the quiet moments, the space between words, the pauses in presence, the gentle gazes, you recognize the ultimate truth. Love without attachment is not absence, but abundance. It is not surrender to loss, but surrender to truth, to self, and to the divine rhythm of the journey. Take a deep breath now. Let the weight of old attachment fall away. Feel the freedom. Sense the expansion. Let your heart resonate with the truth that love is not a prison. Love is a living, breathing, ever-expanding force flowing through you into the connection and beyond. Step into each moment with this awareness. Move through triggers with presence. Speak from your heart without expectation. Listen with your soul without judgment. Each choice you make from this place of freedom strengthens your connection, deepens your intimacy, and cultivates joyful, conscious love. Repeat quietly or in your mind, I love freely, I am whole. I release fear, I honor presence. I trust love's unfolding. Let these words settle in your heart. Allow them to echo in your being. Allow them to become the rhythm of your interactions, the cadence of your presence, the essence of your union. Love without attachment is the sacred art of conscious connection. It is the pinnacle of the journey we have walked together thus far, and it prepares you for the next steps, expansion, service, and the deeper ways your union radiates out into the world. If these words touched you, softened you, or reminded you of the truth within your heart, subscribe to Where the Soul Echoes. Share your reflections in the comments. Your journey matters. Your story resonates. Your soul is listening.